Welcome, everybody. Crawl into your interior cave and listen to The Hermit
and his wife, where we talk spirituality, parenting, Catholicism, inside and out. Welcome to The Hermit and his wife. Welcome to The Hermit and his wife. Did that sound good? You say it. Say it.
Welcome to The Hermit
and his wife.
And his wife. Does that sound condescending?
We gotta work on our...
We need some intro music.
We need to work on that. Yeah, we'll have like a little bumper music. So you guys, but welcome. I forced Anthony to make a podcast. I'm Nell, and you're Anthony, and you're my husband, and I'm making you do this with me.
Here we go.
This is what happens when you're sheltering in place for how many weeks now? Many weeks. Are we in week 4?
It's like make-believe.
Yeah.
Everything's surreal. You walk outside and you wonder where you are. It's like a zombie apocalyptic British movie. You're afraid to breathe the air. Don't breathe the air.
Hopefully no zombies. But what's the point of our podcast? People want to know. The audience wants to know. What are we going to tell them about?
Well, I think it's sort of, when you have a junk drawer, like in the kitchen, you've got well, it's not junk, but it's, it's like rubber bands, paper clips.
We're a junk drawer podcast.
Scissors.
There's just garbage in there. Just random stuff. That's what our podcast is.
We hope there's more,
junk drawer.
Thematic sort of things to it than that.
You guys are now really enticed to listen.
Yeah.
These people are going to talk about nothing of value.
Hang in there.
At all.
Yeah.
Well, we thought we'd start out with an intro to who we are, our family, what kind of a snapshot of our life looks like today, and then also how we met. Because I feel like that's just the beginning of all the good stories, is to on-ramp. So, who are we, Anthony?
Well, we are...
This is like a metaphysical question for you.
Who are we? That's true.
Who are we? Okay.
We're contingent beings.
Okay, the simple version is...
We cannot give ourselves existence. We can't keep ourselves in existence. We're completely dependent upon
the theology.
A creator, which is sort of interesting, right? It's sort of interesting. Like God is existence itself.
They're asleep already.
St. Thomas Aquinas says you can't give what you don't have, right? Nemo dat quod non habet.
Literally, we put them to sleep. You pushed them over the edge.
Sorry. All right. Well, we're Minnesotans. We've been married for...
Almost 11 years.
Almost 11 years.
We've been together 13 years.
Wow.
Baker's dozen. Lucky
actually, it was really funny because at our 10-year reunion, we had the priest who witnessed our wedding vows many years ago. He came up from Nebraska, and my back had gone out, and Nell was coughing. You were really sick. You were really sick.
We were just both hot messes.
And the kids were crying,
extra
and, hanging on to us, and I'm hunched over, and I can't even look up at Nell in the eyes.
But he witnessed the renewal of our wedding vows and offered a private mass.
Here.
Right here.
It was great.
In this homemade altar.
Anyway.
In the 3rd floor of our house here. Which is pretty great.
So, I can't say that we're seasoned, a seasoned married couple, but...
Semi-seasoned.
But a decade, that's fair. But you never know. Life throws... I bring that up just...
What do you mean you never know about our marriage?
No, I said, no, you never know where you're going.
Well, we've been married for almost, over 10 years, but you never know. What is it, the escape crap?
You never know where... Oh, jeez. Okay. Wow.
This is what you guys are going to listen to, is Nell cackling. Sorry about that. Okay, so we've been together for 13 years. We've been married for 11. We have 4 kids. 9 just turned 8, almost 6, so 5. And 3, she thinks she's 13 or 30. We're both lawyers. We met in law school. We live in St. Paul, Minnesota. You're a partner in a law firm. I'm the managing editor of Busted Is She. That's the snapshot version.
Yeah.
You drink coffee. I drink hot chocolate.
And I've developed a fondness for Ham's beer.
It's cheapo Groders.
No, it's been around for... Groders. It has stood the test of time. It's like the ordinary time, time after Pentecost sort of thing. So,
wait, so what are you going to drink during the Easter season then, since this is not ordinary time?
Well, you can make Ham's extraordinary by it's sort of like Blue Moon. You put a little orange slice in there. Same
You
thing
just,
with same thing with
ramp it up.
hams. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
it's actually really good.
Why don't you tell them a little bit about your background, and then we can like bring it into how we met. We have a really good meeting story. That's just to like whet your appetite for it. So.
Wait, like how far back?
Well, just a little bit about you, where you grew up, and schools and activities, and then end at law school.
Okay, so I'm a Cornhusker, born and raised in.
That's Nebraska for people who don't know.
I'm a huge Nebraska fan, all things Nebraska. But I was running cross country and track. I was in Notre Dame for a short amount of time, doing cross country and track. But then I actually got my undergrad degree at the Diocese of Lincoln in the seminary, St. Gregory the Great Seminary.
Great.
We like to say St. Gregory the Great Seminary.
Great name.
It's like Tony the Tiger. So I was there for 3 years, and then I was with. I switched over to the priestly fraternity of St. Peter, which offers makes available the sacraments using the liturgical books of 1962. That's a particular charism. So if you're a big fan of Latin, which I am, that's what they do. And so they're actually they're all around the world. So
can you say that in layman's terms, so for people who don't know the books and like it's the old rite?
Oh, okay. Right. So it's the old rite, or in the words of Pope Benedict XVI, he referred to it as the extraordinary form, in contrast to the ordinary form, which is the liturgical books after or when Paul VI changed them in the 60s and the 70s. So, anyways.
Sorry. Little side. So back to
yeah,
so here you are. You're in your major seminary.
Yeah. So I
FSSB.
studied theology for 2 years there, and then but my interest actually was in or I should say my underlying interest really was contemplative life. So I looked at a lot of different the hermit and his wife, right?
Hermit.
So anyway, so I looked at I contacted the Carthusians, which is an amazing order. I looked at the Camaldolese, and anyway, but I was a hermit for, believe it or not, I had a beard down here and a shaved head and everything. I was a hermit for about a month, and then I loved the prayer aspect to it, but it turned out not to be for me.
Fit.
Yeah. So fast forward.
So to clarify, you did not become a priest. You didn't take any vows of that nature.
No, I didn't take any vows. Although, well, right, and I was never a deacon or a priest or anything
Not
like
ordained.
that. So
not a chalice chipper. I think I have to add that just in case.
I met her a long time after that.
Just in case.
But I did, and okay, so when I was with the fraternity, I did receive the 4 minor orders. It's not,
cool.
There's not an ontological change in your soul like there is when you're ordained as a deacon or a priest. So that's the major holy orders. But the 4 minor orders in the old rite is porter. They used to, back in the day, way back in the day, they used to have people that were designated specifically to open up the church, get it ready. Porter, lector, which is they would actually chant different readings for the divine office, and then lector, exorcist, which is never, you can't exercise it. They call it a potestas legata. It's a bound power. You can't do it unless, at least now, unless you're ordained. An acolyte, so you can, you're authorized to serve and things like that. So
it's like super secret powers. You have like secret powers.
Yeah.
Super powers.
Something like that.
Something like that. Okay, so you discerned away from being a hermit. You cut your beard. You grew your hair back out. You moved back to Lincoln. What happened?
Moved back to Lincoln. I worked for an insurance company.
You did teach Latin for
a year. Natural segue, right?
Forgot about that. That's why that's part of your Latin love.
That's right. I did. I taught Latin in a high school for a year down in Dallas, and
Texas. For all of our Texan listeners, everybody loves Texas. They love it hard. Anthony loved Dallas.
You know what's amazing? You can go.
We're gonna have a lot of sidebars.
To Jack in the Box, get their curly fries, and then go to Whataburger. It's actually What a Burger, and then like you combine the two, and it's. I mean, the beatific vision is going to be amazing.
Oh my god!
For those, for everybody fortunate enough, but like I feel like that might be one of the. It's like a foretaste.
Oh my goodness!
It's just it's amazing.
That's gross.
Yeah.
You're gross.
So I worked. Yeah, I worked for an insurance company for a couple years, and I worked a lot with in-house lawyers. And I'd always been interested in becoming a lawyer, going to law school, and I was actually going to go to University of Nebraska's law school. It was just down the street from my house.
You owned a house.
I had a job lined up with the insurance company, and I was all set. In fact, I even went to there was like a little orientation and everything, and then I visited Ave Maria School of Law. It was at Michigan at the time, and I loved I loved a lot of things about it. And for what it like, I don't know. I switched gears and decided to go there. So
how lucky for me, since that's where we met.
So the first day I walk in the doors, there's Nell helping people, greeting people like she does, and she was
probably not wearing shoes.
She was no, she wasn't. I think that
probably haven't brushed my hair.
Actually, I think you still have like fungal sort
probably
of things
do.
going on. Anyway, she was there, very very happy, very welcoming and everything, and so she was a second year, and I was just starting my first year, anyway, I thought she was great and everything, but
we'll pause it there though.
Okay.
I'm gonna give my backstory later.
Oh.
And then we're gonna tell the law school story. You guys are like, how do I click away from this video and this podcast? Okay, so I grew up here in St. Paul, Minnesota, fourth of 5 kids, 4 girls, 1 boy. Not too far from where we live now, actually just a couple blocks away. Catholic school for grade school, and then like a Christian school for junior high, and then high school is like just at a, that sounds like fun downstairs. Just like a liberal arts, not religious school at all. Then I went to the University of Minnesota here in the Twin Cities for English. I'm an English major, poetry, my manuscript, the creative writing poetry manuscript for my thesis. Love poetry. Also was always the only Catholic I ever knew. Like my family, we were really Catholic, but I never had, in high school and college, never had Catholic friends. Dated a guy in college, wasn't Catholic, like always just wishing to have that Catholic environment. So when I looked at grad schools, because that's what you do when you're an English major, of course, my brother went to Christendom College down there in Virginia, in Front Royal, Virginia, and he said, there's this amazing Catholic law school, you should totally look into it. I thought, well, Peter, I want to be a poet. Like I looked at NYU and Cornell and the New School. Like I had a sister who moved out to New York. I was like, I'm going to write poetry and get my MFA. But actually, especially after visiting the schools, I thought, yeah, this really isn't where I'm going to spiritually flourish. I will still be the only Catholic I know. I'll always be the only person with my convictions, which is really depressing and really hard. And I think I need community. Like I've been away from a Catholic community for long enough. I think I actually would like to be around other adults who are Catholic so I can actually grow. So my brother said, you should look at this Catholic law school in Michigan. I have friends who go there. I thought, well, I don't know, Peter. I don't know. I mean, I've always loved like detective stuff and Perry Mason and like Law and Order, love Law and Order. But I also loved writing. So I gave it a shot and I got in, and I was kind of resigned to like, all right, I'm moving 12 hours away. I had show jumped. I owned horses. I show jumped horses. I'd spent most of college at the barn. I was leaving my horses behind and going to Michigan. I didn't know anybody. I think I cried most of the 12-hour drive. It was my mom. My parents drove me in. So I went straight from undergrad right into law school, and I loved it so much. It's the best 3 years. I mean, not of my life, but I had no idea how incredible it would be. The teachers, the community, my roommates, people that I knew, just the example. I had never been around Catholic people living out their life, just like normal. It was just so normal. They lived such a beautifully integrated life. It wasn't like, oh, I'm Catholic, like me all through college. Like I'm clinging to it, like hanging on, but no flourishing. It was such a gift. So my first year, I had a boyfriend, did not end well at all. And I was kind of resolved to like, no more dating. I'm done dating. I just want to like, I'm zipping on through. I wanted to move out to DC when I was done. How'd that go? Everybody okay?
That was pretty intense.
This is just going to be how the podcast goes. Sorry, Anthony or I are going to have to go and deal with kids. Hey, you're back. I was just bringing them into the law school. So by my second year, I was like, I'm not dating anybody. I think I'm going to move out to DC. I take the Virginia bar. My brother's living out there. I visit out there a lot. I love it. So like I'm on law review. I'm just gonna buckle down and get my work done, and also just continue to run around barefoot. But then I saw you. You came in from a run, big runner. You came in from a run, like these shades. You came in.
This might be a little
front
embellished.
door. This is not. I never exaggerate ever. There's nothing hyperbolic about me. There's no hyperbole here. Yeah, that's not true. And I thought he was super cute, but I was informed by others that he had a girlfriend. So.
Which I didn't.
True, you did not have a girlfriend. It's actually, I'm going to credit Eric Bales. Eric Bales, dear friend. He and his wife Jenny Bales in law school. There was a lot of like, Jenny, can you ask Eric to ask Anthony? It was like 5th grade, like whisper down the lane, like bringing information back, giving information to. I will credit them with helping launch our romance.
It's kind of like Napoleon Dynamite, you know, where they like write a note. Will you go with me to the dance? Yes. No. Not really.
So my second year, I just like I'm not dating, just like gonna buckle down. So then my 3rd year is when was it my 3rd year? 3rd year is when I really got to know you, because then you were an associate on law review and I was the managing editor. So we got to spend a lot of time together. So that whole his first year, my second year, I thought he was dating someone, so he was just kind of out of my mind. But my 3rd year, you just went way above and beyond doing special things for me. Like no one had ever, I was always the doer in a relationship. No one had ever exerted so much effort on my behalf. Tell them some of the things you did. They were outrageous. They were crazy.
Intentional.
They were wild.
Wow. That's really...
Popcorn.
I don't know if I'd go that far. Well, it's just, well, if anybody out there is trying to woo somebody, you come up with different creative things, right? So I made a scavenger hunt at one point, like put things around Ann Arbor.
Oh my goodness.
Based on different clues. I got her a cello for Christmas because she had always wanted to learn how to play the cello, but sort of an abstract thing. So, it's just, you just have to pay attention to, the person that, that you're interested in. So, little things that they say here and there, like remember those and then try to bring them to fruition. Like that's really what you're trying to do. And even in marriage,
True.
you try to
gotta keep it alive.
You have to be thoughtful of the other person. So it could be the smallest of things, even something like they had a long day and you just take the dishes out of the dishwasher,
Or you bring them breakfast in bed. But getting back to the specifics though of our love story. So then one time I was really sick, you peeled oranges for me. Peeled
oranges, got her a whole bunch
my
of
favorite kind of organic smoothies.
Yeah, different, I don't know, things, because she was always helping other people, and, and a lot was riding on her because she was the managing editor, and she was really sick, but she was still coming in and doing all this stuff.
Probably spreading my disease. Shedding virus, a term we now know. I was probably shedding virus everywhere. All over my keyboard. So we got engaged at the end of, after I graduated, here in Minnesota. It was a beautiful proposal. And then I clerked for a federal judge out in Las Vegas. So then I studied for the bar, and you were working back in Lincoln all summer, and I was here studying for the bar exam, which if anyone's taken, like your boards for nursing or any kind of medical boards, or I'm sure for teaching, like the bar exam it's so awful. It's just so terrible. I will never retake the bar exam ever. It was the worst. But I got to be engaged all summer, so that was also really fun. So you did come up a couple times.
Yeah, Spirit Airlines, it was dirt cheap.
No, but from even that summer, you would drive up, didn't you? From Lincoln to Minneapolis?
Yeah, right.
And kind of prepping for okay, we know we're going to get married a year from, this was May. So then, I moved out to Las Vegas, which is just a really weird place to live. We have friends who live in Las Vegas, and they're normal. But Vegas is just an odd environment in so many ways. It's very unusual. And I clerked for a federal judge there for a whole year while you finished up your 3rd year of law school. You were editor-in-chief of the Law Review. So and there's a 3-hour time difference, so you'd call me on your drive in, and it would be like, I don't know, 5, 6 my time. I'd be like, hi,
Yeah, it was a lot of nonverbal sort of
like I'm still
noises.
I'm still asleep, and then you'd be working all hours. You'd be working late at night when I'm just like driving home from the courthouse with nothing to do. I made some girlfriends out there, but I had I'd planned a wedding, watched a lot of news, ate Twizzlers, just dying to get married. And then you graduated, and then we got married, and then we moved to Las Vegas together to finish up the clerkship until August.
So
You studied.
Sorry for the bar, the casinos. Got into a constitutional law argument with a homeless guy who was there for the free drinks, which was very interesting.
You really, you and your Barbary book on your lap, just playing hands of poker.
Yeah, it helps, you play pretty conservatively. Because you got something else to do, too.
You do love playing poker. Then we moved back here. And maybe we'll talk about like job stuff and that in a totally different episode. That's kind of our backstory. So we moved back here, and that was 2009.
2009.
And now we're here. Okay, anything else? Any other funny or profound tidbits from our backstory before we wrap it up for these poor people?
I think they've had a lot of blow by blow here. So.
All right. Well, then, till the next time, my friends. Till the next time. You're supposed to say goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.